Welcome. In front of me I have the Apple Watch S6, the 44mm version, and I'll go over unboxing along with a really quick overview of the device. So let's start off by actually opening it up. Could probably pull this, but looks like I guess we might have to do that. Oh well. So the knife won't basically useless here. Slide it out of here. Not really the way it's supposed to be open, but who cares? And nothing in here apart from the waste of paper. So in here it looks like we have a strap. I'm guessing based on the image that is on here. So let's actually open this up normally. Looks like I just pull it off here, whatever. There we go. So we obviously got some paperwork, and yep, there's the strap. So it looks like it comes with a shorter one and a longer one. I really appreciate that, considering my hands are all super skinny, so that is a real nice touch here. Now I'm gonna set this to the side for now and pop this open. So nothing here. We got the watch itself in here. It's actually fairly solid, as you can see. So there's the watch. And is there anything else in here? The charger, and that's about it. So let's get back to maybe the straps right here, put them quickly on. Oh, these straps are quite in here. Okay, there we go. So I'm not sure which way is it gonna go on here. Okay, that's on. Now I'm gonna grab the smaller one. There we go. And it also looks like it's turning on automatically. So let's pop this on. There we go. Let's go through the specifications. So like I said, this is the Apple Watch 6 44mm. Now I'm actually unsure if this is the GPS, or it looks like it's both the GPS and LTE. So basically it's the more premium one. Now as you can see, obviously I have to go through the setup right here, which I will skip and just bring a cheaper version of this watch here, which already went through the setup. The setup is a little bit lengthy. It just takes a little bit of time that I don't really feel like wasting here. But everything I will be saying will refer to this watch here. So let me quickly get rid of all this stuff from here. Maybe kind of set it up, like try to set it up here. It doesn't seem to be working very well. Normally you would basically get your watch here and simply connect it. So I'm gonna basically skip that, and let's go refer to this one. As you can see, this is the watch after the setup, and now this is the SE version, so it's the more budget one. And let's just quickly set it up. There we go, or unlock it, I meant. So obviously the interfaces will be the same. I believe this one will be lacking in a couple of features, things like the blood oxygen level, EKG monitor, and one more app. I believe it was the... oh, I think that was it. So For all intents and purposes, they almost function exactly the same. Although this one might not have LTE built into it, but I'm not gonna go through it anyway, so for this it won't really matter. The OS of the device obviously will be the exact same for all the Apple Watches, so nothing different here. Obviously you get this grid pattern here with all the apps, and any app that you download from here will also be installed on your phone, which is kind of a downside, I would say. Not really sure why it needs to be also on your phone if you're downloading it, for instance, only for the watch. So that's a little bit not too convenient, I would say. So the OS is basically what you would expect if you used an Apple Watch previously. It's going to be basically the exact same thing here, no changes. Now also the watches come with the 50-meter waterproofing, and that is not the water resistant, it's actually waterproofing. At least that's how it's written on their website. So I believe if your phone, or not phone but watch, gets water damage, they cannot give you that crap excuse that, well, you got it wet. It's supposed to be waterproof, meaning literally resist the water, and up to 50 meters. So yeah. Then, like I said before, the watch comes with a black oxygen app, EKG, and also a couple different things, probably designed more for elderly people, like the fall detection, which will detect when the watch basically falls along with you wearing it, and also the emergency SOS. So if something happens to you, you can access the emergency SOS, and it will contact someone to let them know that something happened to you, and the watch will also give you or them your location, so they know where to look for you. So kind of handy for, like I said, elderly people there, or well, in some kind of distress situations. And apart from that, it comes with what was it, like 8 point, or no, what I'm saying 1.7 inches display, something like that, and resolution of 440, I believe it was. Let me quickly check if it's actually here, because the information here is, as you can see, fairly scarce in terms of what you're getting. So Apple isn't doing the greatest job in terms of showing you what the choices here are, but right now I'm basically this is the watch that I have right here. So let's see, there we go, that's how it goes. So this is the watch that I apparently have right here, and there's two versions of it, the GPS and the GPS and LT, and as you can see there's $100 difference between them. And apart from that, we don't really have many differences here. So we have sizes from Series 3, which is smaller. Then we have the always on display, 30% larger than the Series 3. Going lower, 15 meters, waterproofing, all of them. Blood oxygen up, so this is only for this one apparently. The SE, which is this one, will not have anything like that. There is no EKG app. There is the high and low heart rate notification for all of them. Then irregular heart rhythm notifications, again, all of them. Emergency SOS, all of them. Fall detection, Series 3 misses out on that one. Support family setups, so GPS and cellular mode. I believe this is basically you set it up as for a child, and it will have some limited usage. And then always on altimeter, which again Series 3 misses out. Now the Series 3, I believe is the older one, while the Series 6 and SE are the new ones. Now honestly, I think I would probably prefer the SE. It misses out on a couple features, but honestly I think it was the one that came with like a different band designs as well. Or maybe you can buy them separately, I probably assume. But yeah, for what I would need, I don't really care to pay $500, for instance, to have just minor improvements, in all honesty, because in all terms of purposes, the SE and 6 are almost the same. They just miss out on the important apps, things like blood oxygen level and EKG. Now blood oxygen, I believe manufacturers started adding it because it's one of the ways you can probably check for the virus right here that's been going rampant. So it will create some irregular blood oxygen levels there, and the watch can in a way detect it, so you can frequently check it. Now I believe it probably will have some kind of minor discrepancies in terms of like how accurately it measures it, but at the end of the day it's still better than nothing. And as you can see, the sizes of those two watches are basically the same. They look almost identical if I would actually set it up, but yeah, they are basically identical. The only difference here is the color. The 6-1 is this blue color, while SE is the gray, or whatever they call it, space gray. So yeah, and in both cases, for both of those devices, you get everything same in the box with it. And there's not much more to say here. If you already used the Apple Watch before, then you already know what you're getting into. It's basically just the same thing but improved, 1GB RAM and stuff like that. If you haven't really used an Apple Watch before and you're not even in the Apple ecosystem, then this watch is kind of useless to you. I don't think you can even connect it to anything apart from iPhones or Apple devices. So if you don't have any Apple device, this watch basically is useless. You can't even use it, literally. But if you do have it, then it will work just perfectly. Now there's also a thing, for instance, at the office we have one person that uses normally an Android device but has Apple Watch, and what they do is basically have it connected to the Apple phone that is at their home and use just the watch itself. So that's also one thing that you can do if you just want the watch, because honestly the watch is one of the better ones out here. If you're comparing it to any kind of other watches, like the smartwatches, there is not very many of them. The only thing that I've tested recently that came close to this thing, or basically on par with it, was, I would call it almost a clone. It was the Apple Watch, I believe it was. I also did an unboxing of it, and that watch was basically as good as this thing. Also had like 1GB RAM. I believe it was a little bit bigger. It has a curved display. It actually looked a little bit better in my opinion. I really liked the design of it, but it was running the Google OS on it, the Wear OS I think it's called. So if you're not a fan of it, I guess you don't really have a choice here. But like I said, that was the best Android version of a watch that I've seen. It ran super smooth, perfectly, just like this. Now anything else on the market is a little bit crappier, I would say, or runs a different OS. For instance, Samsung's have their own OS, and also the usability of their watches is if you go for their more budget ones like the bands and stuff like that, they do use their software, but they're a little bit more limited. Their fitness bands, for instance, even though they have a full OLED display, they're not too great, although that was kind of an old device that I have last seen. Other than that, they also have a completely different design in terms of the watch. So kind of digressing here off the topic. So back to the Apple Watch. Like I said, if you already have an Apple device as a phone, then you don't really have a choice here, or this is a clear choice, I would say, because Android smartwatches will work wonky with Apple phones, and you will get the best usability out of this thing with an iPhone, for instance. But if you're using an Android device, then this is a complete no-go for you. And yeah, there's not much more I can say about it. The watches work great. That's basically as much as I can say about it. And they work as you would expect it. After all, they do cost quite a lot, honestly, for just a watch, I would say. So like you see, the blue one that I have right here is basically $500, and all you get with it is the GPS and cellular. Well, $100 less, and you just miss out on making calls out of your device and also receive and send messages. But other than that, I would say personally I would probably go for the SE. It comes with a GPS and cellular, and just miss out on some of the more premium features, if you can call that premium features, like always on a retina display. I don't really care if my watch is always on. The battery is already kind of bad on these, so it's like 1 or 2 days. So probably always on will drain it even further or quicker. So I'd prefer to have it off and just interact with it whenever I want to see it. But yeah, finishing this off. If you're using an Apple phone, get this watch. If you're looking for one, if you're using an Android, probably try to stay out of it. And yeah, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.